Good morning on this Saturday morning, northern Thailand, 5:42 a.m., Friday the 15th. The year is 2568 or the year 2025, depending on the calendar you use. Good morning, Ina. How you doing? Comment ça va? Ça va bien? C'est aujourd'hui vendredi, non, dimanche 15 in the morning at 5:44 a.m. Good morning to everybody. God bless you all. And this is a gorgeous morning at 5:44 a.m. in the year 2568 or the year 2025 or the year 1400 something, depending on what calendar you use. It's a gorgeous morning, a little bit pre-dawn, so we're going to get the full rising sun effect, which will be in the east. But here it is. This is that moment between night and dark. That's when the witches and the ghosts and stuff like that are going back to where they came from, and the humans start to wake up. If you believe folklore. But yeah, I kind of believe it in a way. I don't see any ghosts. Supersonic Link, what's up, brother? How you doing? How's everything? It's a beautiful morning. It's Saturday morning, 5:45 a.m. in the year 2568. If you're using a Buddhist calendar, if you're using a Gregorian calendar, 2025. The Muslim calendar is like 14 something. I gotta check that out to find out what that is, just so I could be accurate. Can you see my hand? What you want to see my hand for? That sounds like a little personal. You want to see my pee-pee? Please. Time for that nonsense. This is a beautiful morning. Let me tell you something about this morning. You see this beautiful sky up there, and you see this trees and everything like that. When you Sawadi Cup. Oh, hello. Sabadi Lupa. When you see this, you realize there is not a man on this planet who has enough money to buy this. This is God's creation, physics creation, biology creation, or whatever you want to call it. And it's beautiful. And we're just lucky to be blessed to be living among it, because this is the truth. That's looking at reality. Not that everyday grind trying to make $1 million a day or anything like that. You couldn't give me $1 million a day and tell me I couldn't have this. I wouldn't take it. Oh, what's $1 million worth if you couldn't have this? If you couldn't have this beautiful sky to appreciate, and the air and the trees and everything like that, how are you going to take $1 million and say you don't want this? That's crazy. At least to me, that's crazy. I never played Minecraft. I don't know. I really don't even know what that game is about, to be honest with you. I never played Minecraft. I have heard of it, but, and that might sound funny because I played games online for a living for a long time. I was a professional gamer online. That's how I used to make my money. Anyway, this is beautiful. This is a nice school, brand new school for the kids in this town. They built this recently, which is nice. I'm hoping to become a chess coach over there because I play chess and I teach chess. I have taught chess in the schools before, so I hope to put together a little chess team over there and be part of the process of kids getting their brains working and thinking and analyzing and stuff like that, and not being stupid people. So that's what I'd like to be a part of. And chess is something that I can add or contribute to society. I could also teach history, or I can even do native English speaker or something like that. And I just don't I don't want to say donate my time, but it'll be volunteer work, So I would love to do that. That's called being part of society. So it's not nighttime right now. It is 5:49 a.m. in the morning on Saturday morning. So we're in Thailand, right? And that's basically on the other side of the world from the east coast of New York, or east coast of United States. So the sun should be in full sunrise in about 10 minutes. Now, this is like what they call the witching hour, right? That hour between night and dark, and the vampires and stuff like that. If you ever read those books, something like that, they talk about the hour between night and day is neither night nor day. And they say that's when the ghosts and stuff like that. I like that. I like that hour. Come out here. Maybe I'll see a ghost. I like to see a ghost. I asked that ghost for the winning lottery number. Maybe they give me the lottery number. Yeah, so that's why it's between night and day. This is a very special and precious period of time of the day, of which most people are either asleep, just getting up, or in their house, getting ready. But I like it because I feel like I get a jump on the day. You know, I got to jump on the day. I'm getting my exercise in. I want to lose a little bit of weight. You know, stay healthy, keep my mind active, and also, most of all, I get to talk to you guys and have an experience like that. You know, so because a lot of people don't speak English over here, so I speak Thai, but some Thai. But I like to be able to speak, you know, chit chat with you guys who primarily speak English. Some of you speak French. You try to speak French or Spanish. I can speak a little bit of both languages, of those languages also. So I like to do that too. You know. All right. Scott 74, good morning again. Great to see you. Fantastic. And what a lovely moment of time we are. I was just saying, this is the time between night and day. You know, there is no sun, there is no darkness. It's like what they call the witching hour, I guess. And I was just saying, I like to see a ghost. Maybe the ghost. Look at. Oh, wait a minute. You see that spot of sunlight? That's over the horizon, right? So that's not even up yet, but it's like bending over the earth, right? Hitting that cloud up there. I think that's amazing. You know? You know? Yes, sir. Good to see you again. I hope you are doing well. God bless you and your family. God bless everybody. We hope everybody does well. You know? The world is a hard enough place as it is without adding to the pain and suffering. Let's try to add happiness and joy, or even just boringness. You know, I think boringness is good. No news is good news. Oh wait, you didn't hear anything in the news today? Oh, that's great. That's what I would say. Arun Sawat. Shit, that guy's wearing his sunglasses at this time. You know, he's coming from the bar, so something like that. You know, wear his sunglasses, riding your motorcycle at this time. He looked like he's about ready to fall off his motorcycle. You know. I have no idea. I'm just joking. It could be true though. You know. So in Thailand right now, like somebody was asking about the seasons, like do we have winter and stuff like that? And we have seasons, all right? So there, I say we have seasons. The word "we" don't really pertain to that, but like I use it as a descriptive thing, so whatever. But like the world in this, if you were like a Buddhist monk or something like that, one of the things they teach you is there is no I in the universe. What that means is, well, I mean, it kind of means what it sounds, but it can get pretty complex. So anyway, when I say we have, it's a little bit of a grammatical thing. Anyway, there are seasons over here, and right now is the rain season, right? So we did have that typhoon Whippa, but that wasn't really part of the rain season. That was a straight up typhoon. But we get like a lot of rain, which helps the rice grow and stuff like that. Arun Sawat Lung. You know. Anyway. Well, I think it's better I walk against the traffic just in case. You know, people be going that way. I walk against the traffic. Nobody seems to be coming this way. I don't want to block anybody on the road or anything like that. Anyway, this is one of the nice vantage points. Can't see it right now. Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's get a little bit closer. Can you see that? Can you see that right up over there on the left in the background? That's the spirits. The spirits are leaving. You can't see the clouds either, but you can see you see that fogginess. That's what they probably used to say with the spirits rising. You know what? If you didn't have an explanation biologically for that, you might think that those were the spirits. Wow, that's a heavy concept. You see them spirits right up there. Right, I'll zoom in. You see that? People might think those were spirits. Still even to this day. Right? If we didn't have like a biological explanation for it or something like that. Anyway, that's beautiful. You can't see the mountains in the background because it's too many clouds over there. But it's nice. And we are blessed. Definitely blessed to be on this walk. And I'm blessed to be with you guys too. So thank you so much for sharing this moment in time on this planet with me. And even if you don't spend it with me, you can still look at the other side of the world, if that's what you want to do. Because this is probably on the opposite side of the world as you. So right up here on the left is banana trees. I like to try to identify trees as I go along and stuff like that. Actually, it even has bananas growing on it. It should probably be pretty good to eat pretty soon. There used to be elephants around here, but with the growing population and regulations and stuff like that, there aren't any elephants around here anymore. But my wife's grandmother told stories about elephants being around and stuff like that. And if you know anything about elephants, they eat a lot. They love bananas. I was living in a place in Thailand where they did have elephants, and this lady, she had her garden, right? And she was growing things, and it's like she was like a lady in her 50s, her name was like Payung, and she's a nice lady. And this big bull elephant came in and just like poked his head into her garden, right? And he just started eating whatever he wanted to eat. And so Payung, she goes out there with her broomstick, right? And she runs up to this elephant, and she starts whacking it on the trunk. Bye, get out of here. That elephant didn't pay her any mind, because what she was doing, he didn't even feel it probably. He just ate whatever he wanted to eat and whatever. But that took a lot of heart from a woman, to confront an elephant, a bull elephant. You know how heavy and strong those things are? If it decided to, thank goodness it didn't, could have done whatever it wanted to. Could have knocked the house down. Anyway, he got his fill of his food and he left. I saw that with my own two eyes. I remember, I can still see her out there today. Right now, I can still see, in my mind's eye, I see the picture of her whacking that thing on the trunk. Get out of here, get out of here. You know, he's eating her vegetables and stuff like that that she had been growing for her family or whatever. I mean, it's sad to laugh. I mean, it's not even a laugh. It is a laughable thing because she was all right anyway. You know, so I mean, it wasn't like a life or death situation for her or anything like that. But, you know, she was still confronting that big bull elephant. I seen elephants. I'm afraid of elephants, to be honest with you. My friend took me one time, says, let's go ride on the elephants, right? You know, because like different areas, different tourist areas. This was like, 25 years ago. He wanted to go ride on an elephant. And I'm thinking at that time, I was young, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to go and, you know, I'll check it out, whatever, you know, see what it's all about and stuff like that, you know. But then you stand up next to one of these animals, right? And they're big. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I'm not, they are big, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. My friend, he's jumping on, you know, he literally like running to get on top of this elephant and stuff like that, you know. Oh, let's go, right. I'm gonna ride on to get my picture taken and everything like that, you know. And he did, and he weighed like 400 pounds at the time. You know, at that time I weighed about $185. Anyway. He jumped up on that elephant, right? And he ended up taking a picture and everything like that. It looked nice and stuff like that, whatever. And next they say, he goes, well, you got to get on the elephant and get your picture. Man, I did get up on that elephant, but I didn't jump. I wasn't ready running to get on that elephant. Let me tell you something. I took a picture of that with that elephant. I had the most terrified look on my face ever. You know, I'm like worried. I'm worried, you know. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with things, you know. And as soon as that picture was taken, I got off that elephant and I said, that was a very nice experience, but that I don't think I'm gonna really look to have that as a second experience. You know, those things are big, man, you know. I know they're peaceful and docile and everything like that, but also I respect the elephant too. I don't want people climbing on me and crawling on me and stuff like that. You know, can you imagine that elephant, how that elephant might think? The elephant might turn around and say, yo, get off of me. Howdy, cop. You know what I mean? The elephant, what? You want to do what? I don't think so. Right? And then sometimes they do. And it has tragic consequences for both parties, for all parties involved. And that's a sad thing, you know? And that's all caused by humans mostly, which is a sad thing. Anyway, that's why I don't mess with elephants. You know, I don't look. I don't need a ride from an elephant. I got 2 feet. I can walk. I'd rather walk. I don't ride horses either. I'm not gonna ride a horse. I mean, like if I had to. Like, if that was like the only means of transportation, like it was at one time and stuff like that, that's a different story. But I don't need to ride a horse. I like horses. I like to watch them, you know, at a distance, you know. But that's a big thing too, you know. And you think about it, a horse is a fraction of the size of an elephant, right? But if that horse decided to get in your face, you ain't gonna do a thing about it. That thing is gonna hit you from here to next week. You'd be wondering what happened. Think about what an elephant could do, you know, if it wanted to, you know. And I'm not saying that they want to do these things. These things are provoked by humans. Humans provoke them. I don't think you ever see in the history of biology and everything like that, you ever had a horse like run up on a tribe of people and like start messing with them and stuff like that. No, it was always the tribe was messing with them, or whatever group of people messing with them first. I think, but I don't know. That's my speculation and pontification. Oh, you definitely don't want to be ejected by an elephant. Oh my goodness. Whew, those things are huge. And the power that they can generate compared to a human. Oh. Can you imagine? And they have this too. They have it documented. Elephants having a bad day. If they're having a bad day and you want to like try and like ride them, you're going to have a bad day too. That's going to be a bad situation. Plus, I don't like the way they train elephants, because I know how they train elephants. They have the mahouts, right? And what the mahouts do is they got these like sticks with claws on them, right? And this is to train the elephant. So anytime the elephant is not doing what the mahout is telling it to do, it's going to get hit with that stick. It's like an ice pick, and that's how they learn. They learn from an early age, that by fear. So anytime you teach something, like even a human, if you teach humans, what do you got pa? Sabari lupa. Even if you teach even if you teach humans by fear, eventually the humans some humans are gonna do something about it. What's to make the difference from go try and train tigers, the lions. They try to do that. That's illegal. These days, as far as I know. Like when I was a kid, they had Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and we went to Madison Square Garden, and I was like 5 or 6 years old or something like that. And the big thing, you're gonna get to see the tigers. I remember the whole smell inside of Madison Square Garden. It stank like you couldn't believe, from stank like elephant and tiger and human and all sorts of animals and everything like that. And I remember seeing these tigers, because they want to parade them as ferocious animals, coming out of the gate and stuff like that. But they come through not out of the gate. At this point, they weren't coming out of a gate. They were coming out of like a cylindrical tube, with wires, so you could see them walking. You know what I mean? So it's like a chain link fence that was like in a tube, manufactured to be in dimensions of a tube, so you could see them walking out from their cages out into the place where the lion trainer was. Anyway, but that was back in the 70s, like 1975, 1976. Thank goodness things have changed since then. And keep those animals locked up like that. All right, we are past the halfway mark on our walk this morning. So that's a blessing. And by the time we just get up around this bend or something like that, we will have a nice shot of the sunrise. So that at this point in time, probably there's sunlight on on a big portion of Earth, right? Hold on a second. I gotta tie my shoe. Tie my shoe. Okay. So up around the bend here, we'll probably get a nice view of the sunrise and stuff like that, because it comes over the mountains. It's beautiful. And another beautiful thing is about the sunrise, which I mentioned, but I think about it as a beautiful thing, is because if you go over the history of human beings and the amount of knowledge we have gained and accessed over this period of time, which is up for a huge debate, but the timeline and everything like that. But I look and I see that sun, and I know it's directly on my left. I said, I know that's east. That's a big thing, like, can you imagine, like, even today, like, when the sun rises, I don't know what percentage it is, but there is a percentage of people who do not know that the sun rises in the east. They don't know. They weren't taught, and that's a big thing. And I even go further to expound on that point is when I first got up to this area in northern Thailand, right, there was a Chinese man, right? He lived from, he was from China, but he was from like Hong Kong. He spoke very, very good, better English than me, and his name was Wilson. And he, in the first 5 minutes of our conversation of introducing, he looked at me and said, like, he's older than me, right? So like, he said, that's north, right? And he pointed north, and I was like, wow, because it hit me at that moment. That's a very important piece of information. Like, I didn't know it was north. I didn't know. I didn't let him know that I didn't know. But like, it like hit me. He said, yeah, that's north, that way. Like, and he's sharing this information to me. I'm a younger man. He's an older man, and like, it hit me to know where east, west, south, north is, that's like pretty important, It could be a life and death situation. You don't know. Anyway, so that was my experience about learning which way was north, because I knew which way east was, east and west, but I wasn't sure which way was north and south. I didn't even give it too much thought, but until he told me. And then I thought about the idea that he told me, like, why would he tell me that? I'm in my 20s, late 20s at that time, and he's in his 50s, and he's educating a younger man, telling him something very important information, and you just passed it off in conversation. It's never left me. I haven't seen him around in a number of years, but I hope he is okay and doing well wherever he is on this planet. He's a very nice man, and may his days be blessed. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we got a nice little perspiration going. The funny thing is that I'll tell you something funny. So I started this like walking vlog, I don't know, I guess like 2 weeks ago, something like that. And when I first started, it was 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure of the date or whatever. But when I first started, I was like 116 and a half, 117 kilo, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm losing weight. Every day I'm looking at the scale, I'm like, oh, I'm losing weight. I'm not overeating, I'm not like not eating, sugar and stuff like that. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke or anything like that, and I'm looking at the scale every day. Like, oh, I'm going down. I call my wife over. Hey, baby, look at this. Look at this. Oh, I got down to 111 or whatever it was, Oh, baby, look at this. I'm down to 110. Right? So then I got down to 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. I got on the scale and it said 107.5. And I was like, oh, I weigh 107 kilo, 107 and a half kilo right now. Oh my goodness, this journey is like, this is easy. I can do this. I can get back down to 185 or 100 pounds, right? You know, or 90 kilo. I can do this, right? The next day I got on the scale, right? And I'm checking my weight. I had, I don't know, like 4 slices of pizza or something like that, you know? I got on the scale. It said 109.4. I thought the scale had to be broken. I'm like, what? There's no way. How do you put on 2 kilos? I was 107 yesterday, 107 and a half yesterday. And now today you're going to tell me I'm 109.4? This scale has to be broken. You know, there's an old saying, and this is a very old saying. It says, liars figure, but figures never lie. Anyway, I hope to get back to back down to 107 and beyond. Get down to 90, lose the weight that I'm trying to get, you know, achieve the goal that I'm trying to achieve. You know, I'm doing it for myself, but I'm not just doing it for myself. You know, I'm doing it for my wife, my family, people around me and stuff like that. You know, what a lot of people don't realize, I think is that this whole thing, this whole interaction in society and stuff like that, it's not a singular thing. You know, it's like we're all interacting. Most of society wants everybody to do good things and stuff like that. And that's what I want for people. I want people to do good things, and I want people to see me do good things, you know? So I don't think it's ever, you know, I say it like 10 times a day or anything like that, but I like to say it maybe once in the morning on the vlog while I'm walking and stuff like that, remind myself, you know, because people need to be reminded human beings are not perfect, far from perfect, you know? Remind myself, I want to be a good member of society. I want to be somebody people are happy to meet. You know what I mean? You know, it'd be one of those people like, you know, oh, here he comes, and I want to, you know, cross over to the other side of the street. I don't want to be with that person. That person's miserable. That, you know, the kind of person, you know, that people don't want to be around. The reason they don't want to be around them is that person's miserable and dangerous, or miserable and non-dangerous. Doesn't matter. You're miserable. You know, and you have to feel sorry for them. Well, I feel sorry for them. Well, you know, they're going through a lot of pain and inside unnecessarily. It's all unnecessary. It's a man-made creation inside their head. You know, because as much as you could be like upset and angry about, like, say somebody bumps into you or something like that, you could get upset about it. But like the Buddhist monk has a saying, you know, about people bumping into each other and stuff like that. And it's a story, a very short story. So a man is in a boat and he's out fishing, right? And he's in his boat and he's just nice, quiet and everything like that. And he's fishing and he feels a bump, right? And he gets angry and he says, "You mother effer, MFer, you know," and he turns around and he looks, and there was nobody in the boat. It was just a boat that had like unmoored itself and bumped into him. Now, I'm not saying that the moral of the story is, you know, not to get mad every time you're going to get bumped or anything like that. It's just saying that your anger is a creation of a reaction within yourself, right? That's all it is. So when you start reacting and stuff like that, you're not thinking. The process of thought that we are so lucky and gifted with, for whatever reason, you know. So that's kind of cool. Here's a Watt over here. This is a Watt we passed by. You know, I filmed this side a couple times, so I'm gonna take a look and take a look. Let's take a look and see what's this side. If there are too many people in there, I don't want to, you know, infringe on their infringe on there, but there's nobody here right now. And see how beautiful that is? They have the dragons at the stairs and stuff like that. And I don't know what the symbolic meaning of that is, but I could probably make some assumptions, just like you could probably make your own assumptions. Leave all the dragons outside of the outside of the temple, which I don't know. Sounds reasonable to me. Anyway, check your attitude at the door. All right. He's looking like a good little boy. Yeah, you're good. Uh-oh. Those kids are up to no good. They're obviously they're not gonna, I'll tell you they're up to no good. They're gonna get rounded up. Don't worry. I know. I already know. I already know the signs. I'm sorry that I waved to them too, because I don't want to give them any reason to come over and talk to me and try and snatch my gold or anything like that. Then I have to, fuck all three of them up. And I don't really want to do that. Nice and peaceful. That's what I like. Not young men filled with testosterone and drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Arun sawat kunyay. As I always said, sometimes like being big is good, right? I'm what's considered kind of big, right? So what I'm like almost 6'3", right? And about 200 and right now about 240 pounds maybe or something like that. So I'm kind of big, right? The thing is that like no one person is they had to be kind of big, really big to like step up to me or anything like that. So it's like a curse in a way though, because if somebody decided that they're gonna try and jack me or something like that, they're coming with a weapon. If I was a small dude, they don't even need a weapon, they just take his shit, a small dude, he knows that. A small dude may have a weapon though, you never know. Right, so I'm just saying, as a bigger person, if a couple of kids come up to me, I could easily just like defend myself physically against them. They have to have a weapon, you know what I mean? I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, but oh shoot, I was jaw jacking all this time and almost missed it. There we go. There it is right there. God's creation and beauty. Whatever divine spirit there is in this world, the next, whatever universe you're looking at, there's the sun. And that sun is millions of times bigger than this earth. And it's tiny in the universe. Isn't that amazing? Wow, look at that. And it's coming up over the clouds, over the mountain. And it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna be a brand new day. And hopefully everybody has a wonderful day. Just keep positive mindset is important, everybody. Keep your minds in a positive mindset. That's half the battle right there. Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating that, So, yeah, that was, so that's east, obviously due east, right? So due east. Now, if I can imagine myself looking at a map, if I don't slip in this mud right here. There's a lot of mud. Just slip. Looking on a map due east. Okay, I know exactly where I am. I know where north is because I remember Winston told me where north is. So east is to my left and north is behind me. See, I know where I am. I don't even need a compass. And just that bit of information, if I had to go somewhere, knowing that, like the satellites and telephones all broke down and everything like that, and I had to be somewhere, they're like, listen, you got to get to X, Y, and Z. I'll be able to get there. I might have to walk, but I'll walk. Oh, yeah, the sun's... It's amazing how fast it comes up. And when it actually comes up, like, have you ever sat there or watched the sunrise? Like you see it, like, coming over the horizon. And then, like, it's pretty quick, in my opinion. Arun Sawat, it's pretty quick, So you see that movement, and these are gigantic things that are moving, and it's based around a 24-hour day. So, but you could just, like, if you watch the sun and the horizon get the distance, it's like kind of like awe-inspiring, I would say. The air quality is good. That's nice. A lot of times the air quality up here is kind of gets rough because Arun, so what? Because a lot of farmers, there's some mountains in the background there. A lot of farmers, what they do is they burn their crops, right? So the carbon goes back into the earth, and then their crops get. But you have like over millions of hectares or acres or rye or whatever your method of counting is. Right? Yeah. Oh, no. You could stay far away. I hear you growling too. Just because you're wagging your tail don't mean you're nice. I haven't been bitten ever in Thailand by a dog. But you kind of like, some dogs, like this dog looks friendly. She looks friendly. But like she's wagging her tail and she's like coming up straight up behind me. I don't trust her. She's still coming over. You better... I'm keeping my eye on you. You walk your side of the street and I'll walk mine. Good. I haven't seen her around this area, right? So I've seen like all the dogs around here. I know who they are. But I haven't seen her, and she's like, she's not coming this way. She's not coming. She sees these other dogs over here, and she's not coming. So I'm gonna guess that she's afraid or something like that, or whatever. These guys don't bother me, but I just don't like it when they sneak up behind you. They start walking behind you, like real quiet. They're not barking or anything like that. And that's where you're gonna feel like a little nipping at your ankle or something like that. And knock on wood, that's never happened to me, but I've seen it happen to other people. And normally, what happens is those other people, they're not paying attention to what their surroundings, or also they are noticing that the. So any copy, see? Ça va, les enfants? So, they're or they notice it, right? And what happens is they get like a little bit scared of a dog, right? And fear, like being scared and stuff like that, is something that like is a very primal instinct. So it's not always good to have fear or be scared or something like that. It's good to be wary or something like that, But like if you're scared and you start running from a dog or something like that, that's a green light. You know, it's a green light that says, bite me. So I like to walk against the traffic. Already have my plan. If I see a car coming toward me, it's like kind of like veering towards me, like they might be out of control. Maybe they have a heart attack or a seizure or passed out drunk or something like that. My whole plan is, this is my plan, is at the right moment just to jump, right? I figure I could jump over the hood, right? So to pass by me. That's my plan, because I'm not going to try that sideways movement, you know, because that thing is moving at like 65, 70 miles an hour. I'm not trying to do that. If this thing came like swerved into me and stuff like that, I'm just going to try to jump over the hood and take my chances that way. Yeah, right? You want to see it, right? Shit. I don't even go so far as to say, like Scott, you say you want to see what's coming at you. So you and me probably, if they offered us a blindfolded, I said, no, I don't need the blindfold. I want to see it. Do it. I don't need a blindfold. Oh, that blindfold is for you, not for me. I'm not saying you. I'm saying for the people who are about to shoot you. I don't need a blindfold. I'm not looking to die or anything like that, that's for sure. I'm trying to live a very happy, peaceful life. But it's how you live your life that defines you. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for coming on this walk. Another 52 minutes in the bag for exercise. We're banking up all of these days. Scott, thank you so much for stopping by. It's great to see you again. And everybody else who didn't chat or did chat, God bless you all. Thank you for coming by, and good to see you again as well. And I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. I hope I make it through this water without the water going into my shoes, please. Oh, man. Oh, boy. But anyway, I live at the end of this road here. And so I guess that means it's going to be the end of this stream. And God bless you all, whatever religion, denomination, or whatever you are. I only want, and I hope the best for you, and I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful day. God bless you all.